Dear students, I welcome you back to the class of English Optional BA third year Literary Theory and Criticism. We have been dealing with the second Greek philosopher prescribed for our study, that is Aristotle. In the last class we dealt with Aristotle's views on poetry. Aristotle was the disciple of Plato, and Plato did not give any place to the poet and poetry in his ideal state. Aristotle also is of the opinion that poetry is based on imitation, but his observation on poetry is different from Plato's observation on poetry. It is believed that Aristotle wrote his world-famous treatise Poetics in order to defend poetry against the attacks of Plato on poetry. Today we are going to deal with Aristotle's observation on epic. In the last class we saw that according to Aristotle, tragedy is the highest form of poetry. Today we are going to deal with Aristotle's observation on epic poetry. Aristotle takes up the study of epic towards the end of his Poetics. He has discussed epic poetry in chapter number 23 of his book Poetics. In modern literature, we don't have a modern epic written in verse, but there are prose epics which we call novels. As per Aristotelian conception, the novel is modern literature. The novel in modern literature has the nearest approach to the ancient epic. Aristotle's definition of epic poetry. Aristotle has given the definition of epic poetry in chapter number 23 of his world-famous treatise Poetics. He says, an epic is a poetic imitation which is narrative in form and employs a single meter. The plot manifestly ought, as in a tragedy, to be constructed on dramatic principles. It should have for its subject a single action whole, and complete with a beginning, a middle, and end. It will thus resemble a single and coherent picture of a living being, and produce the pleasure proper to it. It will differ in structure from historical compositions, which of necessity present not a single action, but a single period, and all that happened within that period, to one person or to many little connected together as the events may be. Let us see similarity between epic and tragedy in the observation of Aristotle. According to Aristotle, there are many points of similarity between epic and tragedy. Epic imitates characters' nobler type in verse. Tragedy also imitates characters' nobler type in verse. Structure of epic and tragedy is one and the same. So epic and tragedy are similar in their structure. There is a complex situation which is called denouement in the epic. We find the same complex situation in tragedy as well. Plot is based on the dramatic principles in epic poetry. Similarly, plot is based on the dramatic principle in tragedy as well. Epic has a single action. Tragedy also has a single action. Epic may be simpler or complex. Tragedy also may be simple or complex. Plot, character, thought and diction, these things are found in epic. Similarly, tragedy also has plot, character, thought and diction. So these were some of the similarities which Aristotle observed between epic and tragedy. Let us deal with a difference between epic poetry and history. According to Aristotle, the epic is different from history in structure and in thought. The structure of epic and the structure of history differs. There is no coherence or similarity between the structure of epic and history. A historical narration does not present a single action, though it presents a single period. Again, there is no unity of thoughts in historical composition. Thus, Homer, the Roman poet, who is not a historian but essentially a poet, deals with Trojan War. So Homer wrote about Trojan War. So war is element of history. Homer, being poet, wrote on historical element. He takes that portion of the war only which is suitable for the proper development of his plot of his epic. There is unity in thoughts in epic poetry. We do not find unity of thoughts in history. So these are some of the dissimilar aspects which we find according to Aristotle between epic and history. Let us deal with difference between epic and tragedy. Aristotle points out the various differences between epic and tragedy. Especially, all the elements of an epic are found in tragedy, but the elements of tragedy are not found in epic. For example, there is a difference in their use of meter and length of them. A tragedy is conditioned by time. It takes place within a single revolution of the sun. The epic is not conditioned by the time factor. Again, a tragedy employs different characters to talk about different situations. So, the scope of tragedy is limited. The epic employs the narratives, and thus it is possible for it to describe a number of simultaneous incidents. Thus, an epic can present many events at a time which are relevant to the subject and mass and dignity of the poet. Aristotle says the poet should prefer probable impossibilities to impossible probabilities in the epic also, but in the epic poetry, the imitation has a wider scope than in tragedy, because in tragedy we are concerned with the person acting on the stage. So imitation has wider scope in epic poetry, whereas there is no scope for imitation. Moreover, audience concentrate their attention on the characters acting on the stage. So let us see the judgment of Aristotle on the greatness of epic and tragedy. Aristotle says imitation of human action is better, epic or tragedy. So Aristotle has emphasized imitation of human action. According to him, tragedy is superior to epic because tragedy, the elements of tragedy are found in epic, but elements of epics are not found in tragedy. Tragedy has music and spectacles, whereas we do not find music and spectacles in epic poetry. Tragedy has its perfect end, whereas we do not find perfect or suitable end to the epic poetry. Therefore, Aristotle feels that tragedy is a higher art than an epic poetry. So friends, finally Aristotle has favored tragedy to epic. This is how we have come across Aristotle's observation on epic poetry. We have come across the definition of epic poetry. Then similarities between epic and tragedy. Then we have come across the epic and history. And we have come across various differences between epic and tragedy. Then finally, we have concluded with Aristotle's remark on epic and tragedy. And finally, Aristotle has emphasized on the superiority of tragedy to epic poetry. He says that tragedy is a higher art than an epic poetry. So friends, with this I would like to conclude. In the following class, we shall deal with Aristotle's observation on tragedy. Thank you very much.